Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and we're returning to our Ultimate General Civil War Let's Play series. I know I've been hitting Ultimate General Civil War very hard a lot lately. I've got some I've got some Battlestar Galactica footage in the tank. I'll be starting to show that very shortly, but this was taken from a live stream a few days ago. We're playing through our Union Let's Play in Ultimate General. We are on to the Battle of Stones River. We've successfully withdrawn or extricated ourselves from our exposed position and the fish hook on the right flank. We've withdrawn a little bit further north to a new defensive position, and now we are receiving the brunt of a series of Confederate assaults which are going to hit our position, and we are going to try and hang on to our position and salvage this battle. I hope you guys have enjoyed the series thus far. And I'm going to go ahead and jump back out. Again, this audio here is going to be from a live stream, so I'll just kind of turn it back over to myself and the live stream audio there. Thanks again, guys. Meet you at the end. Yeah, a couple of brigades trying to use cover in these woods here. Our troops are a little bit more exposed, so that could be trouble. We've got a secondary flank here, so I've got some troops on this ridge line back here in these woods. So if they do break through, these are very steep woods they've got to come up to try and get to that objective. I know it does sap me of some firepower now by having these troops back there rather than engaged presently, but I think it's the sound strategic move. Supply wagon, move over here, get these guys some more ammo. And we've kind of got a couple brigades out here in the woods here to protect against any flanking maneuvers the enemy cavalry might launch. We'll go ahead and move these guys who are way back in the rear toward the objective as kind of a reserve. We've got quite a few reserves up here as well. I've kind of stacked in the more open areas here a few units. We'll move this artillery closer, actually. George B. Gamer's holding here. McClellan is holding over here. We'll move McClellan a little bit. Move these brigades in the woods forward, actually, to kind of provide some fire, so if the enemy does charge us in volley, then we can shoot into them at point blank. Move the Irish Brigade up so they can support Crocker as well. Brigade size, I could have up to 2,500 men right now. I don't have my troops built up that far yet, but theoretically I could. Okay. 16th, 33rd Indiana is going to get butchered here. It's going to be receiving fire from 3 brigades in the open. Just say that was ill-advised as that brigade melts away. Okay, they're launching another assault here toward the center, it looks like. We'll shift McClellan over a bit. We'll give a morale boost to the troops that are about to be attacked. Alright, kind of moving my supply wagon back and forth to keep these guys in good supply. Most of them are. Okay. Yeah, battles like these, you won't have 2,500 man brigades. That is certainly possibly true. I'm debating swinging around and flanking the enemy. The main issue is I think the next phase still has us withdrawing some. There's not really a nice, clean, wooded line up here. To massacre them on? I could have probably, but whatever. Alright. We're gonna launch our own flanking maneuver. They just keep coming, sir. Okay. Oh, you mean down south? Yeah. I mean, they overran me and I was a little bit strung out. Probably could have done better. If only Rosecrans was as aggressive as I am right now. Rosecrans was the Union commander in charge of the Union armies in this battle, and I don't think he had the stones to launch a counterattack like this after the initial surprise wore off. I think he was just kind of happy. He did sort of eventually, the Confederates under increasing pressure would eventually withdraw, but certainly not this quick. Now the enemy is kind of holding out in some good defensive terrain while we're advancing in the open, largely. Okay. Yeah, it's really... Oh, they're not running. That's why. Lower left, Union. Oh, it's my cavalry. I completely forgot about them. Alright. Confederate artillery here on the flank? Well, I don't want to put my rear to them. Looks like they're maneuvering toward the objective, but... Oh, don't do that. Oh god, that was dumb. That was dumb, that was dumb, that was dumb. There's way too many brigades here for me to be successful. I need to advance some additional troops to keep the pressure up here. I'm gonna have any chance. Hector's gonna get slaughtered. 2 batteries of artillery and 2 infantry brigades. Ugh. That was a mistake. Can't issue the order to retreat either. I mean blocked, he's in melee. Alright, well, probably got a little bit over ambitious here. But I'm hoping we can restructure our line on this little wood here. Sherman's trying to wipe out this enemy artillery battery. Hector's running away like a little sissy. Defend the Nashville Pike. Okay. General, the rebels are starting to surround us. It is strongly advised to withdraw and take defensive positions at our headquarters on the Nashville Pike. Well, sort of. Rebels must not cut our escape routes, which is controlled by this section of the Nashville Pike, because our whole army can be trapped and lost. Okay. I mean, that's nice, but we also are not being driven back anymore. Oh. I can't imagine as the Confederates having much luck driving the Union from these positions. If they ever were pushed back to these defensive positions. Those are strong. Supplies, go get them. Go get them, boys. See, there's no real reason to defend this position here anymore. Unless the enemy has, like, massive troops on our flank that we're just not aware of. I guess we'll fall back. Why not? Those are really good defensive positions by the look of it. Or at least we'll fall a portion of our soldiers back. I guess we didn't get those wagons. Yeah, I think the difficulty with this kind of... This battle is a good example, in my opinion, of the weakness of Ultimate General Civil War. And what I mean by that is the game... Ultimate General Gettysburg was uniquely structured so that if you won, for example, that initial attack on the left flank, if we had held our position in the old Ultimate General Gettysburg, it's like 2 years old, in Ultimate General Gettysburg, if we had held that point, if we had held that position, then we actually would have had a new scenario that would have been not generated, but they had like 40 scenarios in kind of in the cupboard that they would pull out and would allow you to fight a hypothetical. In these battles, the biggest weakness of Ultimate General Civil War is because they've got like 40 different battles that they model, they don't have the ability to have 20 or 30 different variants of each individual battle. Which means that, you know, when you have a fight, you kind of get the stock historical script no matter what. And that's not very interesting when you fight a battle like this, where it's like, all right, we're holding our own. Why on earth would we withdraw like you're telling us to? Unless there's information that the game just hasn't communicated, which it hasn't. There's really no reason to fall back up here, as far as I can tell. Except apparently they've got some cavalry over there and my artillery's dying. So I guess, you know, that's kind of the one frustrating thing for me with this game, is that it just doesn't do a good job of dealing with, you know, what to do when history is not followed. Okay. Alright, so the enemy's launching another attack here. I mean, yes, the battle is Union biased, sure, but I think we also need to remember that this is a historical battle. The Union, you know, was the biggest disadvantage for the Union in this battle was they were caught off guard, but they heavily outnumbered the Confederates. There's really no reason the Union should lose this battle, and historically, there's no reason the Union should have lost this battle, which they didn't. So, again, it's biased, but it's also based on history, so... Rarely does history ask, all right, guys, is this game balanced? Okay. Built a nice little neat line over here. But again, there's no real reason. I mean, I pulled a few troops back just in case they do have, you know, they do have some troops over here. Small number of troops that could threaten us. We pulled some troops back. Does look like they have some forces which could threaten this position. Should have put some troops in this defensive work. I didn't realize there was one on the other side of the river. Slowly pulling my guys back. Just given that there's really good defensive ground there, so why not take advantage of it? Okay. Leaving Hooker here, because if the enemy does go after these guys, they'll expose their flank. Well, let's see. A lot of dead Confederate bodies here. Fewer Union ones, a lot of little artillery shell holes. You can see a lot of our troops died here along this line as we advance this wooded area, but a ton of Confederate dead ones too. Adds a little bit of ambiance. We move south, let's see if you can see where the battle originated. You can see some limited artillery. Can't really see much in the way of casualties at this point. I mean, do have some horsemen here in the woods. Alright, we'll go send that one brigade to the other side of the river there and see if there's any reason for them to be in those defensive positions. Meanwhile, the enemy is moving some troops toward our line here. Start pulling the artillery back first. They're going to be the ones that need the most time. Okay. Alright, you can see they were trying to advance around our flank, but they got caught between two forces shooting into them. Alright, Pettit's retreating. Those supply wagons out too. It's kind of a controlled withdrawal at this point. Need to get some infantry over here to shield this artillery, which is going to advance kind of exposed across the line of some enemy infantry. So far, we're doing everything we need to win. You're right, it did used to be like fighting White Walkers. You know, in the earlier versions of this game, the AI had a tendency to just zombie charge you, which made fighting this very not like the Civil War. Interesting, even right there, that regiment charged to point-blank range and then stopped. Ooh, that regiment is going to pay for stopping in the open there. Surprised they're hanging in there. All right. Let's start pulling some of these guys back. Leave some skirmishers. Gibbon, you'll pull back. Leaving a few brigades to kind of act as a little bit of a rear guard. Yeah, Antietam early on was very difficult when you were playing as the Confederates. The Union just kind of bum rushed you the whole way. Okay, so we are pulling back to our defensive positions, which should not be an issue to execute. Well, we might lose. These guys are getting charged. I would say this is an orderly withdrawal. Of course, I'm the general who wants to, you know, justify how I'm doing. Oh, wow. There's a lot of rebels here on this side of the river. It's kind of bad. Let's make sure they don't flank our rear. In fact, we can cross here, right? Yes, we can. Let's do that. Let's take these guys out. Say 4 brigades. We'll give them the Iron Brigade too. That should be sufficient to clear those guys off from that flank. That is a little bit of a danger. They're kind of in our rear, and we've got a whole bunch more reserves that are falling back to our defensive line. The other good news is because I sent these guys early, they've got like great morale, great cover, great conditioning, because they've all been just sitting here resting. Okay. Parker, go ahead and pull back. Alright, so we're falling back on our fortress positions here. There's going to be a bit of a salient there. We'll move those guys. We'll run them in. And we're falling back on the final position here, the withdrawal north. Get our cavalry back in here. We've run out of supply in some of our supply wagons. Meager's supply wagon is going to come back here. They're going to get chewed up quick, but we got a lot of the troops that were engaged in position here. Crocker, get behind your lines. Alright, so the enemy is coming. They're coming! Guy's almost empty. This guy is empty. I think we've got just Meager's supply wagon, really. Alright. God damn it. They drove these guys from their position already? Mullen's there. Gibbon, get over here to this flank. Carroll, take position. You are. Kelly, I don't know. Was Kelly driven back or just... Crocker really wants to stay outside those trenches. All right. Meager, I wish you could double-click a supply wagon. I don't know what the penalty would be, but it sure would be nice. We've got all these guys, we've got a couple of units that are low on ammo. Can't get the damn wagon over there fast enough. Alright. Wow, Kelly's guys have done really well. 1,600 casualties inflicted. Confederates can use this little wooded area to try and hurt us a bit. Okay, this is kind of where the most open fight is. Over here on the flank. You guys turn and shoot at these guys. I'm running post out of position so I can kind of get to Bass's aid. Shooting to the flank here. Hopefully Bass can take a volley or two before he runs. There you go. Post already pushed back that one enemy brigade. Kill the second. I don't think holding together more than 60% of our forces should be an issue in this battle. I guess we'll see. Isn't it 50 though? Yeah, it's lose less than 50% of your forces. Which I don't think in this fight it'll be an issue. Oh boy. Polk's gonna get volley fired by a whole brigade maybe. I want to get out of there. And Polk is dead. And thus ends the illustrious career of the Leontius Polk. General Leontius Polk. It's weird that this is a really weird defensive position. You've got entrenchments that are directly below a very tall hill. That seems unwise. Strategically unsound, in my view. But what do I know? I'm just an amateur. Alright. I don't know who's saying there are too many. We're holding pretty well. We'll go ahead and fast forward here. I think there's one more phase. I think there's a second day to the battle. I could be wrong, though. Okay. I wouldn't say Polk was a good general. Wasn't he the bishop? The Bishop Polk? Alright everybody, thanks for tuning in for yet another episode of my Ultimate General Let's Play. I'm playing as the Union again, if you haven't noticed for the last half an hour roughly. We're going to go ahead and cut this video off here. We've successfully held off the enemy after their initial surprise attack, and the battle is now moving on to the final day of the fight. We've got one more day, and we'll go ahead and just make that the last part of the video, or of this particular stream. So I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Let me know your thoughts below, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.